Level 1. The Golden Boy. There is a man somewhere, exactly your age, who is still waiting for his real life to start. He has been waiting for 30 years. He will wait until it is too late, and he will never once notice the waiting, because he gave it a more comfortable name. He called it potential. He called it freedom. He called it not selling out. He is about to find out what it was really called, and if any part of that sentence made your stomach turn, stay, because this is how it all begins. It starts with promise, which is the most dangerous gift a child can be given. You are young and quick and charming, and the adults around you say the word with a kind of hunger. Potential. He has so much potential. You do not know yet that potential is a currency that only spends in one direction. It buys you patience now against a debt of disappointment later. Every teacher gives you the benefit of the doubt. Every coach keeps you on a little longer. You are the kid who could be anything, and being anything feels infinitely better than being one specific, finished, ordinary thing. So you learn the first lesson, the one that will quietly run your whole life. You learn that being good at something is hard, but being told you could be good at something is easy and feels almost the same. You collect the second feeling. You get addicted to the warm glow of the unrealized, the project not yet started, the talent not yet tested, because a thing you have not tried cannot fail. You are a closed envelope. Everyone assumes the letter inside is wonderful, and as long as you never open it, they are right. Your mother frames the drawing. Your father tells the neighbors. You are 8, and you are already learning that the version of you that lives in other people's hopes is more lovable than any version you could actually become. So you decide, without words, without knowing you are deciding, to live there instead, in the hope, in the maybe, in the warm, safe country of not yet. Level 2, the coaster. By the time you are a teenager, you have discovered the most useful word in any language. Later. Later is not a time, it is a place, and it is the most beautiful place you know. You can put anything there: the homework, the apology, the conversation you are dreading, the decision about who you want to be. You slide it all gently into later, and later swallows it without complaint, and you feel the immediate relief of a problem that has technically not gone away, but has agreed, for now, to stop looking at you. And here is the cruel trick of it. It works. It keeps working. You coast through school on a tank of charm and last-minute panic and just enough native cleverness to never quite fail. You learn exactly how little you can do and still be okay, and then you do exactly that much and not 1 ounce more. Effort, you decide, is for people who are not naturally gifted, and you are naturally gifted. So effort would be admitting something you are not willing to admit. You mistake your own laziness for a kind of superiority. You tell yourself you are saving your real effort for when it matters. You will tell yourself this for 20 more years. The other kids, the grinders, the triers, the ones who are not as quick as you and have to work for it, you pity them a little. You do not see that they are learning something you are not. They are learning that they can do hard things, that the doing is a muscle, and the muscle grows. You are not building that muscle. You are building something else, something that will feel like freedom for a long time before it reveals itself as a cage. You are building the habit of fleeing the moment a thing gets hard, and one day, everything worth having will be on the other side of a thing that got hard. Level 3, the fun one. Your 20s arrive, and for a glorious window, the way you are built is exactly the way the world wants you to be. Because you have no weight, you can go anywhere. No early morning, no real job, no one depending on you means you are always free, always up for it, always the first yes when everyone else is making excuses about work tomorrow. You become the fun one, the one who keeps the night going, the one with the time, because time is the one thing you have refused to spend on anything that would use it up. Your friends with their internships and their early starts look at your life with a flicker of envy. You are doing it right, that flicker says. You are still free. And it is real, the fun. Do not let anyone tell you it was not real. Those nights were good. The laughter was true. There is a genuine gift in the man who never grew the part of himself that says no, who can still throw a whole evening away on nothing, who treats Tuesday like Saturday because to him they are the same. People love you for it. They love that you remind them of a freedom they traded away. You are a holiday they can visit. But a holiday is not a place you can live. And slowly, so slowly, you do not notice the turn. The thing that made you the fun one at 23 starts to make you the cautionary one at 28. The friends visit the holiday less. They have things in the morning now. Real things. The phone, which used to ring constantly, rings on weekends, then on occasions, then on birthdays. You are still standing in the same spot, arms open, ready for the night to begin. You have not noticed that everyone else has quietly walked toward something, and you are the only one who stayed. There is a particular evening that should have been a warning. You text the group the way you always have, who is out tonight, and the replies come back one by one, soft and full of reasons. Early start, kid is sick, saving up. And you sit with your phone going dark in your hand and feel for just a second before you push it away the cold edge of a truth you are not ready for, that you are not the one with the most freedom anymore. You are the one with the least direction. And those are not the same thing, no matter how long you have been telling yourself they are. You put the phone face down. You tell yourself they are boring now. You go out alone, and it is not the same, and you already know it is not the same, and you stay out late anyway, proving a point to no one. Level 4, the comparison. There is a specific season of life when everyone you know seems to take off at once, and you are still on the ground, and you have to decide what story to tell yourself about why. They get the jobs with the titles. They get the partners who stay. They put down deposits on places that are theirs, sign papers that bind them to the future, have the children who will call them by a name that means responsibility forever. You watch it happen on your screen. Thumb moving, post after post. The ring, the keys held up outside the new door, the ultrasound, the title under the new name. And something cold turns over in your chest with every swipe. And you reach for the only medicine you have ever trusted, a story that makes it their loss instead of yours. They sold out, you tell yourself. They got boring. You say it out loud sometimes to whoever is around with a little laugh, the rat race, the system, never living by other people's clocks. And here's the trap of it. Some of it is true, and the true part is exactly what lets the lie hide. You hold on to the one real thread and pretend it is the whole rope. You put the phone face down. You feel better for about an hour. But late at night, when the laugh is gone and the room is quiet, you know the difference between choosing a smaller life and just failing to choose a larger one. They did not pass you because they sold out. They passed you because they picked up the weights you set down, one after another, and got stronger carrying them while you stayed light and stayed still. And staying still, you are starting to understand, is not the same as staying free. It is just the slowest way to fall behind. Level 5, the net. Underneath all of it, holding you up the whole time, is a net you did not weave and have never had to leave. Maybe it is your parents, the bedroom that was always kept ready, the fridge that refills itself, the rent that never quite comes due because it comes due to them. Maybe it is a partner who earns and organizes and remembers and carries, who fell in love with your lightness and slowly, without either of you naming it, became your ground. Maybe it is a string of people, a rotating cast, each one holding you up for a while before they tire and pass you to the next. Whatever shape it takes, the net is always there, and the net is the thing that lets you keep choosing the lighter weight because the heavier one is always being carried by someone else. And the net is not kindness, not entirely, though it feels like it. It is the thing that has kept you a boy. A man with no net learns to carry himself because there is no other option, and the learning is brutal, and the learning is the whole point. You were spared the brutality, and you mistook being spared for being lucky. You looked at the men breaking their backs to stand on their own, and you felt sorry for them, and all the while they were becoming the one thing you were not, load-bearing, able to hold up something other than themselves. The cruelest part is that the net feels like love, and often it is love, and that is exactly why no one cuts it. The people holding you up are too kind to drop you, and so they carry you, and the carrying ages them. And you let it, because you have built a whole self around not noticing the weight you put on other people. You have never once asked the question that defines a grown man, not what can I get from the people who love me, But what can they put down, finally? Because I have arrived to carry it instead. Level 6, when the charm curdles. Here's the thing no one tells the charming boy. Charm has an expiration date, and it is printed in invisible ink, and you only see it long after it has passed. The grin that got you out of trouble at 22 gets you a tight, polite smile at 34. The same joke, the same lateness, the same "I'll figure it out," the same lovable mess that everyone forgave a decade ago now lands in a room gone subtly quiet. Because a mess at 22 is potential, and the same mess at 34 is a pattern, and people forgive potential, but they get tired of patterns. They have watched you do this for years now. The charm has become predictable, and predictable charm is just a man asking to be excused from the same things again, in the same way, with the same smile he has clearly used 1,000 times. You feel the shift before you understand it. You walk into rooms that used to warm up for you, and they stay cool. You crack the joke, and it does not buy what it used to buy. You reach for the old self, the lovable rascal, the boy who got away with it, and you find that the costume does not fit a body this age. People are not charmed by you anymore. At best, they are patient with you, and patience is a colder thing than charm, and you can feel the difference like a drop in temperature. You are becoming, in the eyes of people who once adored you, a little sad. And the worst part is you can see it in their faces before you will admit it to yourself. This is the level where the man-child stops being funny, even to himself. The party trick has run its course. And underneath the dying charm is the terrible question you have spent your whole life outrunning, finally close enough to touch. If I am not the boy with all the potential, and I never became the man who used it, then what exactly am I? You catch your own reflection sometimes, in a dark window, in a phone screen gone black, and for a second you do not recognize the face because it does not match the age you still feel inside. There is a boy in there, behind the eyes, still certain the real life has not started yet, still waiting for the warm-up to end and the actual thing to begin. And there is a face around him that is no longer young, that has started to settle in line and tell the truth the boy refuses to. The gap between the two is the whole tragedy in a single image. A child's belief that there is still time worn on a face that is quietly, honestly running out of it. Level 7, the leaving. Eventually someone leaves, and it is not a misunderstanding, and it cannot be charmed back. And that is the first weight you will ever feel land that you cannot set down again. Maybe it is a partner who finally understands that she has been dating her own future child, that she is tired in a way sleep does not fix, that she wants a teammate and got a dependent, and one day she says the quiet, devastating thing, "I cannot be the only adult in this." And she goes. Or maybe it is a friend, the last one from the old days, who stops reaching out, not in anger, just in the slow drift of a man who has finally gotten too busy with his own real life to keep visiting your stalled one. Either way, a door closes, and for the first time, it does not open again the moment you knock. And you do what you have always done. You reach for the story. She gave up on me. He changed. People leave. But the story does not hold this time, because too many doors have closed now, and a man can call one closed door someone else's fault, and two a coincidence. But a whole hallway of them, all shut, all behind him, eventually has to ask himself what the common factor is in every room he has ever been asked to leave. And the common factor is standing in his shoes. This is the level where the world stops waiting for you. Your whole life, the world has waited. It waited through school, it waited through your 20s, it waited while everyone else moved on, holding a place for you out of love or habit or hope. And now, quietly, it has stopped. The seat is filled. The plans are made without you. You are no longer the talented boy running late to a future that is keeping warm. You are a man standing in a cooling room, realizing that warm rooms are not owed to anyone, and that the people who have them built them, board by board, out of all the weights you would not lift. Level 8, when the net ages. And then the thing happens that no man-child is ever ready for, because the whole architecture of his life was built on it never happening. The net gets old. The parents who kept the room ready start to need a room kept ready for them. The hands that refilled the fridge get unsteady. The people who carried you, who you let carry you long past the age when it was decent, are getting tired in a way that is not about you anymore, that is about time and bodies and the one direction this all ever goes. And you understand with a horror that arrives all at once that the net was never a permanent feature of the world. It was a group of people, and people do not last. And worse, far worse, the net is about to flip. The ones who held you up are about to need holding, and you never, not once, learned how to hold anyone. This is the bill, and it comes due in the worst possible currency. Not money, capability. The thing you refuse to build your whole life, the muscle of carrying weight, of showing up, of doing the hard, unglamorous, unthanked work of being the strong one, is exactly the thing that is suddenly, desperately needed, and you do not have it, because you spent 40 years making sure you would never have to. You stand in your aging mother's kitchen, and she needs you to be the adult now, finally, completely, and you realize you have no idea how. You were so busy being taken care of that you never learned the other half of love, the carrying half, the half that makes you a man. There is a particular shame reserved for this moment, and it is unlike any other. It is the shame of being needed and not being able, of looking at the people who gave you everything and having nothing, structurally nothing, to give back, because you spent the decades you could have used to become a person who has something to give. You wanted to stay light, and now the people you love are heavy and failing and reaching for you, and you are still, after all this time, the lightest thing in the room. You watch your father try to lift something he used to lift without thinking, and fail, and look around the room out of an old reflex for the strong young man who should be there to take it from him. And the strong young man is you. You are the one the room is waiting for. And you step forward too late and too clumsy, fumbling at a competence you never built, and you see in his face not anger, but something worse, a flicker of the old patience, the look that says it is fine, I will manage. The way he has always managed, the way he managed for you. He is still carrying you even now, even here, by pretending he does not need what you cannot give. And you understand that a man can spend his whole life being protected by people too loving to show him the bill, and that this exact mercy is the thing that kept you a child longest of all. Level 9, the reckoning. There is a night, and you will know it when it comes, when the whole pile finally falls on you at once, and there is no later left to put it in. It might be a quiet night, no drama, just you alone in a room, suddenly able to see the entire shape of your life with a clarity that feels less like thinking and more like being struck. Every weight you set down, every door you let close, every person who carried you until they could not, every later that has finally all at once become now. You see that you did not avoid the hard things. You only delayed them, and delay charges interest, and the interest is everything, and the bill is your whole life, and it is all due tonight. And you grieve, not for someone else, for him, for the boy with all the potential, the closed envelope everyone was so sure was wonderful, and you finally open it here, at this age, in this room, and you read what is inside. And it is not what they promised. It is just a list of all the things you could have done and the quiet reasons you gave for not doing them, reasons that sounded so much like wisdom and were only ever fear wearing wisdom's coat. You wanted to protect the dream of who you could be. And to protect it, you never let it touch the air, and a dream that never touches the air does not stay pure. It just dies slowly in the dark, unbreathed, unborn, while you stand guard over its little coffin and call it potential. This is the bottom, and the strange mercy of the bottom is that it is the first honest place you have stood in your entire life. There is no story left that will hold, no charm left to deploy, no net left to fall into. There is just you, and the truth, and the wreckage, and a silence so complete that for the first time you can hear the only question that was ever going to matter. Not who could you have been. That man is gone, and grieving him is its own kind of indulgence. The question is the one a grown man asks. What, With whatever is left, are you going to carry now? Level 10. The weight. Growing up is not a door. It is a single act, available at any age, repeated daily until you die. It is the choice to pick up a weight that is yours and not put it down. And so, late, decades late, with most of the easy chances gone and the people who believed in you scattered or aged or buried, you bend down, and for the first time in your life, you pick up something heavy on purpose, and you do not look for somewhere to set it. Maybe it is your failing mother, and you learn to cook the meals and manage the medicines and hold the hand and be the steady one. You, the unsteady one, the light one, finally load-bearing for the woman who bore your whole weight for 30 years and never once dropped you. Maybe it is just a job you actually do, fully, badly at first, without an exit, without an excuse, showing up on the mornings you do not want to, until the muscle you never built starts, impossibly, to grow. It will not feel like winning. There is no montage, no triumph, no return of the golden boy. It feels like exhaustion and humility and the strange, unfamiliar ache of doing the thing instead of dreaming it. But somewhere in the middle of carrying the weight you did not run from, something happens that has not happened in your whole, long, avoided life. You stop being a boy, not because you finally felt ready. You were never going to feel ready. You stopped being a boy because you picked the weight up anyway, while you were still afraid, and you found out the thing they never tell you, that you were always strong enough, that the strength was on the other side of the lifting, and the only way to it was through. You spent your whole life protecting yourself from the very thing that would have made you into a man. And there is grief in arriving this late, real grief, for all the years you spent guarding an envelope you were too afraid to open. But there is something underneath the grief, quiet and warm and entirely new. It is the first self-respect you have ever felt that you did not have to talk yourself into. You did a hard thing. You did not run. And no one can ever take that from you, because for once, you did not get it for free. Somewhere right now there is a room with the blinds down, a man your age, with your tired eyes, telling himself there is still time. Not who could you have been? What are you finally willing to carry?